They say a house is not a home if no one is there.
As the Chicago Bears continue to flirt with the idea of leaving town, Soldier Field is suddenly staring at a very different future. The Chicago Park District is now floating a $630 million plan to remake the NFL's oldest stadium into a major concert and events destination, with upgrades and infrastructure improvements that could be partly funded by the state, and even a possible $90 million lease penalty if the Bears walk away. If this renovation goes forward, the vision is bold. Think of Soldier Field not as an aging football stadium, but as Chicago's own version of the Summerfest Grounds, a permanent, purpose-built home for massive festivals and concerts. Events like Lollapalooza and Riot Fest could move there. It could also make Grant Park return to its original role as open, public green spaces for families and everyday recreation. In that future, Soldier Field wouldn't just survive without the Bears, it would become one of the city's biggest entertainment hubs, open, active, and alive year-round. What would this new proposal look like, and why does Soldier Field matter for the city beyond football? Since becoming the Bears' home in 1971, Soldier Field has been the stage for some of the most unforgettable moments in Chicago football, where the cold, wind, and snow only seem to make the drama bigger. It's where Walter Payton delivered his legendary flu game in 1977. It's where the 1985 Bears crushed the Rams in the NFC Championship game, sending Chicago to their Super Bowl win. It's also seen heartbreak, like the 2010 NFC Championship loss to the Packers, and recent joy, including a wild 31-27 playoff comeback over Green Bay in 2025 and a dominant divisional round win over the Rams. So, if the Chicago Bears really do decide to leave, Soldier Field's own numbers make the point loud and clear. The stadium is bigger than any one tenant. In fiscal year 2026, Soldier Field is projected to generate $62.9 million in gross revenue and $26.6 million in net operating revenue, making it the largest non-tax revenue source for the Chicago Park District. And that money directly supports park operations and programming across the city. The Bears are part of that picture, but only part of it. 2 preseason and 8 regular season NFL home games, and successfully hosted 2 historic postseason playoff games in 2025 and 2026. On top of that, Soldier Field hosts 17 MLS regular season games and 3 to 4 major sporting events annually. The stadium also hosts 8 to 10 large stadium concerts every year, with 13 concert nights in 2025 alone, including 5 consecutive nights over Labor Day weekend. Beyond sports and concerts, the venue is used for runs, walks, private rentals, civic and community events, keeping the building busy far beyond football Sundays. Economically, Soldier Field is also a major engine for Chicago. In 2025, it generated nearly $20 million in local parking and amusement taxes from Chicago Park District events, only excluding NFL and MLS. Specific examples show the scale. Taylor Swift's June 2023 shows produced about $39 million in hotel revenue. And Beyoncé's May 2025 run brought in about $85 million in hotel revenue in 1 week, pushing hotel occupancy to 98.5%. Nationally, Soldier Field has earned top industry recognition, being featured near the top of Billboard magazine's 2025 Touring Power Players list, and named a Polestar Stadium of the Year nominee, one of 6 venues nationally. Just as importantly, Soldier Field revenue helps support affordable and free park programs across Chicago, helps avoid extra reliance on property tax increases. So if the message to the Bears needs to be said plainly, it's this: you matter. But you are still only one portion of what Soldier Field brings to Chicago. At the same time, the Bears stadium drama is heating up across state lines. Arlington Heights is still fighting to keep the team in Illinois, but Northwest Indiana cities like Portage and Gary, and even Iowa, have jumped into the race, with momentum recently shifting toward Indiana after lawmakers moved a bill that could open the door to a move to Hammond. With Governor J.B. Pritzker now calling on Bears ownership to stop sending mixed signals and be clear about their plans, the question isn't just where the Bears will play dot, it's what Chicago wants Soldier Field to become. But now, the big question is, what comes next for a place with this much history? So what exactly does this $630 million renovation plan look like? And if you want more deep dives into stadium projects, sports business drama, and the future of iconic venues, make sure to hit subscribe and stay with us. Let's take a look at what this proposal really means for Soldier Field and for Chicago. So what do we actually know about the plan? According to a draft presentation, the proposal would turn Soldier Field into a massive concert and special events venue with a total price tag of $630 million. Of that, about $130 million would go directly into the stadium itself, including upgrades like a new sound system and new dressing rooms. The much bigger piece, roughly $500 million, would be spent on surrounding infrastructure, focused on traffic management and parking to make large-scale events easier to handle. Park District officials say part of that cost could be offset by the Bears themselves, who would owe nearly $90 million if they break their lease before 2033. On top of that, the Park District is pitching state lawmakers on a funding package that could include money from the state's road fund, which is paid for by motor fuel taxes, to help cover those infrastructure upgrades. Chicago Park District spokesperson didn't confirm or deny those talks, but said the district's responsibility is to make sure the Lakefront Stadium continues to serve as a strong public asset. Right now, the lease also blocks Soldier Field from hosting any non-Bears event within 5 days of a home game. If the Bears do leave, that restriction disappears, potentially opening the door to a much busier August and September, and a stadium that's more active year-round. The city already missed a chance in the early 2000s to make Soldier Field more of a true war memorial, as it was originally intended, and believes the site could be opened up more as a public destination tied to the museum campus. All of this is happening while the city is still carrying about $500 million in debt from the 2003 renovation of the stadium, a debt that's paid off using a 2% hotel tax. Park District officials have been telling lawmakers that big concerts are critical because they drive hotel stays, which in turn generate the tax revenue needed to pay that debt down. To put that in perspective, officials say just one weekend of Beyoncé concerts last spring brought in $85 million in hotel revenue. For now, representatives from the governor's office, the Chicago Park District, the Illinois Sports Facilities Authority, and the Illinois General Assembly have declined to speak on the record, saying the negotiations are still too sensitive. But one thing is clear, this plan isn't just about the Bears, it's about reimagining Soldier Field. And that's it for today, folks. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.